fun to see heroes that we don't see too often. We're going to jump right into picks and bans for game number 1. PHOBIA versus DMG. They're going to ban out that Ringo. And PHOBIA, we'll see what they decide to take off the table.
Interestingly enough, well, Ringo is one of Kilby's main heroes, so it kind of makes sense that they do want to ban out that Ringo.
The Adagio ban coming out for PHOBIA, my favorite hero overall. It's fun. And so it's going to be a Skye first pick for Godfather and DMG. We'll see if that Skye actually ends up in the lane or not. I'd imagine it probably will, but Arden's still available too. There's some pretty powerful picks.
Yeah. Well, gonna pick up that laner first in Celeste.
Hey, you never know. Could be a jungle Celeste. We've seen it before.
Yeah, could
But
be.
yeah, probably a laner.
And they do pick up Arden as well.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And so what's it going to be? What do you pair with a Skye?
Well, if you want to try to mix it up here, maybe you don't want to go for a Koshka because you would be putting a lot of your damage just into Crystal. But, you know, Koshka's still
you do.
Yes, I mean, we have seen teams do this more often this season around. Last season, I think they really did want to mix it up.
Yeah,
but
I was wondering if we were actually going to get to see a Jewel pick, but no, it's the Catherine after all. That would have been a crazy team comp to throw that one in. And the Vox, so this may actually be a Celeste in the jungle. Could be a Vox in there too, I suppose, though.
Yeah, I think either one works, just depending on where they want to go. I mean, Kilby known as the laner, so maybe we will see that lane Celeste instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very interesting. Could also be a weapon power Vox if they want to mix that up.
Okay. Well, either way, I mean, these teams, again, putting essentially everything on the line. They need a win here today to keep their tournament hopes alive. Both PHOBIA and DMG 0-1 in Group A. And here we go. It is time to move onto the House of Fold. And there is PHOBIA getting ready to move out. That item shop. It looks like some things would fall off of it.
Yeah, it doesn't look too stable back there.
Not really.
Once you get that zoomed in view, it's true, dog.
If he stands in place, he'll be just fine. I don't think he's going to move.
They actually swapped Vox onto Kill B. So there you go. He's going to be playing in the lane with Vox instead.
Interesting. All right. So we'll be a lane Vox against the Skye from Godfather. He's going to try to make Kill B an offer he can't refuse.
But yeah, I mean the Skye is definitely it's kind of an obvious pick, I'd say, for Godfather. He played it so much in the China Invitational, and he looked really fantastic on that. So no surprise that he wants to go in there. A very high skill cap hero is Skye, and of course he is one of the best laners. Not scared of picking that up and trying to do that damage.
Skye just does a ridiculous amount of damage right now as well, too, and the amount of harass you can put on early on with the lock on at the forward barrage. And we're seeing it already from Godfather. Kill B has been able to sustain pretty well. PHOBIA, was that the tiger
Show me
from
your
Frosted Flakes?
I think they're referring to Tiger Phobia from the, from the past.
They're great. There's no place like home.
Godfather beat Wild as Hunters in Season 2, but lost to Wild in Season 2 with his new team.
Awkward. That doesn't really remind you of home. Oh, Kill B taking a lot of damage from the forward barrage. First blood could come in for DMG. The stun landed from Catherine, but no one was able to follow that up.
Yeah, I think they could have actually secured that kill.
I really think so, too.
Maybe not the best teamwork so far here to start off the day. Maybe they were scared of another gank coming down, and here we go, Godfather.
Uh-oh, Godfather could be in trouble now, backing away. There's the stun coming in. He got hit by that core collapse. Can he get away, though? One more auto should do it, and I think that's going to be the kill. It'll go over to Spectro on that Celeste. And so PHOBIA responding with a successful gank of their own. Doing a bit better. Doesn't look like Dead Doll can quite catch up to Kill B.
Well, we've seen this out of Godfather from time to time, getting a little bit too overconfident. I mean, that was the timing for the gank to come down into his lane, and he was playing a bit more passively, but...
Yeah. Oh, there's a stun coming in from Dead Doll. Again, though, no follow-up, just trying to keep Kill B honest in the lane there.
Now we do have MX and Dead Doll looking to possibly invade a bit here.
Yeah. Bit of bouncy fun, perhaps, coming in from that Koshka a bit later. The fun part is debatable for pretty much everyone else.
Well, I'm sure
involved
it's
in
fun
that,
for her, but
yeah.
Taking a look at Godfather, very focused on his Sky. Oh, I like this shot.
February on that Arden. Staying in lane quite a bit. It's cool. Dead Doll looking for an opportunity to land a stun with that Merciless Pursuit, perhaps. Oh, okay. Oh, Vanguard just to keep Kill B sustained a little bit more. Pulse used, so they're going to find February. Might go in onto Dead Doll here, no? Just an auto attack coming in from Spectro.
Yeah. I like what we see out of some of these roam heroes from time to time, where they just sit in the lane and they, by doing that, they essentially stop any kind of gank pressure that can come in, but they also allow their jungle to roam solo in the jungle and get a ton more XP and try to hit level 6 first. Very important on Koshka especially. You want to get that ult out before anyone really has a reflex block up and running so that you can win a couple of those early team fights and get that early advantage.
Yep, absolutely. A little bit of stealing going on by DMG getting into the jungle of Phobia. Just grabbing a monster there. And if we look at the CS right now, it's pretty even between Godfather and Kill B at the moment.
Yeah, very, very even here. Godfather gonna push the lane a little bit, come down and buy, but no real pressure going to be able to put on here. Koshka just back in her own jungle, farming up.
Yep. So both of these teams just kind of playing fairly safe. A little bit of ganking pressure early on, but it looks like everyone's kind of more interested in farming than making plays at this point.
Well, just taking a look at these compositions as we do have some downtime, I'm definitely liking Phobia's composition a bit better for later game because Koshka's going to fall off a bit, and they're also running double crystal power here. So that box on the weapon power as well as the Celeste on the crystal, that mix-up from Phobia is going to make it much harder for DMG to really itemize against their composition, whereas it's very easy for Phobia to itemize against Damage's composition.
I suppose that's true. Well, Scout Trap spotted Phobia. They're going to go in on that Godfather, though, but it looks like MX and Dead Doll coming from behind. February getting a little bit low. There's the ultimate coming out of Koshka. What's it going to accomplish? Not a lot of damage done overall, actually, but no, Kill B low. There's a kill coming in for DMG. They're going to turn now onto February. Maybe they can get him. Gets out with that Vanguard, but Spectro is deep behind enemy lines, and on a squishy hero like Celeste, debatable to see how long he's going to last. Yep, and Spectro will get taken out, not able to score anything with a late heliogenesis, so that is going to be a pretty good fight for DMG, and they're going to go right for that gold miner.
Yeah, fantastic fight. They take out all three. Unfortunately, they do not get the ace, but it looks like it's not really going to matter all that much. They're still going to be able to pick up the gold mine here and just back off.
Yeah, well, the death timers are so short at this point in the game, too. You need to kill everybody, like, basically at the same time to get that ace.
Yeah. But look at this. I mean, the timing of the way the lane was pushing is going to mean that Godfather's going to miss a bit of the farm in the lane. And the way it actually works out is that Phobia is still quite far ahead in gold after all. I think just a bit of better farming overall. And, you know, the gold from those kills don't amount to all that much overall this early on in the game.
True. Yeah, the lane pressure may end up benefiting Phobia a little bit more.
Yeah. The one thing that DMG does have is control of that gold mine.
Yeah.
Now.
Very true. I see what you mean, though, about late game looking maybe a bit better for Phobia, too. I mean, just the vision that the Celeste gives you, you know, without having to walk into brushes, without having to invest in more flares, is really nice.
Yeah. I do like what DMG is doing, though. They understand their composition is much stronger early on.
Yep.
And they're really trying to be a bit aggressive here, trying to force those fights.
Yeah,
they're doing a decent job of it, but I think they need even just a little bit more pressure. They really don't want this to go too late in the game.
Seems that way. Godfather trying to push the lane a bit. MX and Dead Doll coming in from the side. They might be able to find Spectro here. Spectro. Not sure if he quite snagged that monster. I don't think he was able to get it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't see the gold pop up above. Whoa, MX over the wall. There's a Catnip Frenzy, and will be enough to take down February. When you add in the death from above, it looks like it will be enough. Phobia turning around to try to get something on the way out, but it doesn't look like they'll be able to. Maybe they can get Godfather. No, he's going to be able to sneak away. Just a nice combination of ultimates coming out from DMG to grab that kill on February.
Yeah, nice bit of killing there, and even more so than the kill, they just had so much pressure in the jungle they took. Well, let's take a look at the replay first.
Yeah. Over the wall, right in the ult for that Koshka, and then an easy landing of that death from above from Godfather.
Yeah, nice last auto attack there as February was underneath the turret, still able to pick up that kill. Very nicely done. But yeah, they essentially took the whole jungle before that team fight even started as well. So.
Yeah. They also took the gold lead after the team fight. So DMG jumping out a little bit ahead of PHOBIA at just 8 minutes into the game. And they've still got control over that gold miner.
Yeah, I think it's about 3/4 of the way, maybe about halfway done here.
I think so, yeah. It's hard to tell. The icon's over it right now, but yeah, it's about 2/3 or so.
Yeah. So just a bit more time before that does get full, but it's definitely something that PHOBIA has to think about here. They don't want to get too far behind in gold this early on.
The payout may be decent.
It might be decent.
It might be decent. MX trying to come in onto Spectro, but Spectro's going to be able to get out before taking too much damage. And it really is dangerous, man. Like, Catherine Koshka in your jungle is not something you want to have to deal with.
Oh, yeah. It's nearly as strong as the Koshka Fortress combination that we do see a lot, but
yeah, it's been popular in other tournaments going on right now too.
Interesting that they do go for the Catherine instead, and maybe just a little bit more protection instead of that aggressive nature that Fortress obviously offers.
Looks like we might have a fight here. February coming in. Deaddoll taking a lot of damage early on. February trying to zone out Godfather in the back lines. MX taking a lot of damage. There's a kill, though, coming in onto Deaddoll right off the bat. And this is a fight that is so close right now. February low. Can Godfather finish him? He can. 2 kills on each side, and it's a duel between Spectro and Godfather. Are they going to finish off Godfather over the wall with that Suri strike? And it looks like they're just going to leave it at that. A little bit too dangerous for both of those guys. I mean, the burst from each of the abilities would be maybe enough to finish off. I feel like I would have put my money on Spectro in the end there, but
yeah, it would have been really hard after all, but a really interesting fight there. Arden actually hit 6, and they wanted to force the team fight, but the gauntlet gets interrupted, actually. I think he got stunned out of it before it went down.
I think you might be right, yeah.
And then look at the immense amount of damage from both the Koshka and the Sky coming down there.
Yeah.
And eventually just trade 2 for 2.
I guess so. And that's going to mean that we're still in a very, very close game here. Yeah. The big difference is that gold miner, DMG, just got the payout, I believe.
But still only 800 gold ahead.
Yeah, I suppose when you're trading some kills and the CSing has been, looks like, well, it's about the same, honestly, when you total it all up.
Yeah, so far it's been a very, very even game.
Yeah, definitely one of the closest games we've seen yet this season.
This is kind of what we were expecting, actually, coming into today.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially into this first game, because both these teams are fighting for their lives in the tournaments, and they seem like they're around the same skill level as well, so.
Wow, Deaddoll taking just a lot of poke damage from that Heliogenesis for the most part from Spectro.
Yeah. It looks like DMG may have been trying to force a fight here while the gauntlet was down and while Blast Tremor was up for Catherine, but not really able to find the angle to engage there.
I am totally impressed by anyone who can see us on a phone. I can't do it. And I know that Druid plays on the phone. You and I were talking about this before, but that takes some pretty intense finger accuracy.
Small fingers as
like
well.
That, yeah.
Not our fat fingers. I can't do that either.
I can't do it. My big American fingers.
Too much McDonald's, man.
It's not worth it. No, just too much raw strength. Okay. Of course. Obviously. Yeah. Can't believe you had to ask that.
We can only hope, right?
I mean Valdez. You don't go by Brendan anymore.
I actually ate McDonald's yesterday.
Oh, really?
Kind of ashamed to admit it, but it happened. It happened.
The last time I had McDonald's was before I took the train when I was in Europe for Law Worlds. So it was like, what, 2-3 months ago or something? Deaddoll coming in. There's a stun on to kill B, but he's trapped in the gauntlet. Now they want that gold miner. Deaddoll wants more than that, though. He's going to get killed off, though, as MX takes a ton from that Celestial. Spectral's still looking good, and Godfather is on his own. You're not much without the Mafia, are you?
Oh, boy. Really ugly fight there for DMG. Catherine engages alone, goes down. They try to run through the gauntlet, and they go down one by one. it seems like today just the teamwork is not really there for DMG, to be honest.
Man, I want to see the replay, but I feel like Spectra just got a sick Celeste ult.
Oh, yes.
Solar Storm through the middle of the team.
She got, well, let's take a look at that replay. Catherine goes down like nearly immediately.
Yeah. I mean, PHOBIA even got that gold miner too.
Yeah. You can see the Sky ult is not that amazing. Koshka goes down very, very early on, took the full damage from the Celeste ult, as you were mentioning. And then from there, it was like, well, you can't really do much when it's 3-on-2 and then 3-on-1 so fast.
Yeah, pretty much.
So DMG actually taking a big deficit now in terms of the gold, down 2.3k gold.
Yeah, and do you feel like we're starting to see a little bit of what you were talking about, where that power is starting to sort of taper off with that aggressive jungle invading that DMG was able to do earlier?
Yeah, I mean, it's beginning to happen for sure. Of course, it wasn't the best engagement for DMG,
Ouch.
but I think as we get into like third items here for both Vox and Celeste, we're really going to begin to see this happen.
Oh, man. Oh, nice core collapse, getting a little bit more damage on the Godfather, and that's a huge ult. And that doesn't kill anyone, but it just gives you so much map control. You see immediately PHOBIA moving into the other jungle. You can get all those monsters. They can keep better control. The gold miner, Dead Doll, taking a lot of damage. He's got no turret to keep him safe, and suddenly PHOBIA seems like it's got all the advantages in this game.
Yeah, and that weapon power Vox just does so much damage with those sonic zooms. It's pretty unbelievable.
It really does.
This early on, he's had a pretty decent farming game so far. It's not the likes of Druid, but it's been quite all right. 135 for 14 minutes so far.
Yeah, it's no Druid, but it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
So definitely going to be a big threat here as we get later on this game.
Yeah. You know, over time, Celeste, of course, becomes a bit more tanky as she stacks that armor and shield from her passive, but she just hasn't landed a ton of stuns. Did I say Celeste again?
Yes.
I meant Catherine. I don't know why I always get those two confused.
Well, they're very similar.
Celeste,
it's all right.
Catherine. Well,
Yeah.
they both start with C, I guess.
Well, Catherine, as you were mentioning, still, you know, hasn't had the best engages so far. I haven't been too impressed with Dead Doll's Catherine so far.
It hasn't been able to do a whole lot, has it? Yeah.
Decent gold payout collected.
Decent gold payout. And the Kraken appears on the map. And PHOBIA in a pretty prime position to keep all the pressure on to DMG right now.
Yeah. You could also tell that DMG is playing a lot more passive. This team is just generally a pretty aggressive team, as the teams from China usually are. But you could tell after that team fight, I think they took a step back and they're like, whoa, guys, we can't do that again. This is, you know, if we lose this game, we're essentially out. We can't go home like this.
Well, the kind of catch-22 with that is that DMG doesn't seem to really have the composition that can afford to be so passive, you know?
Yeah, that's the scary part of it, but...
Good scout traps are going to see DMG coming in for that buy, and PHOBIA is immediately going to start collapsing down. Will they go for it, though? Doesn't look like it quite yet.
Flare going down that tri-brush. Looks like Dead Doll going to be able to clear up a lot of the scout traps here. Misses the one near this near the shop, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
So PHOBIA at this point can essentially see every angle that Damage may want to enter their own jungle by. They've got 3 scout traps in the lane brush, actually, and then 1 by the shop, and now 1 in the tri-brush again.
Pretty cool. I love how Spectro keeps stepping up to do that heliogenesis over the wall. Looks like they're going to go in on the Dead Doll here. There's a gauntlet thrown down. Kilby gets stunned immediately by that merciless pursuit, but not a lot Dead Doll can do. Solar Storm grabs that kill for Spectro, and it doesn't look like there's a lot they can do, although DMG coming back with a bit of damage of their own. Godfather going off here, and it's going to be a 1v1 in the end, and February on the run right now. Can Godfather finish him? There's a lock on, and the forward barrage is going to grab the kill. Man, MX came back in at just the right time and absolutely destroyed, I believe it was
Celeste.
Spectro there, yeah.
Yeah, locked down the Celeste so that she could not land a stun onto Godfather, giving him free reign over the entire fight. Let's take a look at this.
Swamp again, yeah. Check out MX in the back.
They take out Catherine really early on.
Here he comes.
Take out the Vox with that forward barrage, and they lock down Spectro for that Suri strike, and Spectro just melts instantly.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was a one-on-one against the Sky. Not really going to go your way if you're an Arden.
No, not so much.
And an easy cleanup for Godfather.
Yeah.
This guy, he's one of the most skilled laners in the game. Sky is one of the highest skill cap laners, also lane heroes in the game, so definitely fits his style, and he's showing a bit of flair today with that.
Yeah, despite the little gold lead that Phobia has. I mean, DMG seems to be right back in it again. And just the patience that MX showed just to wait, build a couple stacks, and then find an opportunity to get that yummy catnip frenzy ultimate onto Spectro. That Celeste is not too tanky.
Looks like Phobia was looking for a possible engage. Oh,
going in again, and he's onto Spectro. Can he do enough damage? Not a ton initially. MX in big trouble. Gauntlet thrown down, zones out the rest of DMG. Phobia being careful about the engage on this one, but Godfather, nothing careful about that as he strikes his way in, manages to pick up a kill for his team, but it's 1v2 now. Godfather may be unbeatable for the moment. Febri and Kill B, though, don't look like they want to go in on this. Godfather, though, wants to go in and Kill B. There's the immediate Vanguard. Kill B responding, coming in. That box on. Whoa, Kill B taken down. Godfather, pretty epic play. Oh, the scout trap takes him out. Whoops. That's an ace. That's one of the most awkward aces I've ever seen. Phobia will take it.
That was insane outplaying by Godfather. He landed that ultimate to get the stun onto Vox when he was going 1v2. Febri took a ton of damage, so he had to back off and wasn't really there to give the Vanguard to Vox.
I mean, Kill B tried to get that combo with the Sonic Zoom just to get those couple extra auto attacks. I think he thought he could finish Godfather off, but it didn't quite work. Let's watch that again. That was a crazy 1v2.
Well, this is a highlight.
No kidding. Look at how low he got.
There it is. Death from above, getting the stun onto Kill B. Sonic Zoom just not enough, but good guy Scout Trap cleans him up.
Yeah, I love Scout Traps, man.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Get vision and do damage to people. DMG trying to start the Kraken there, but not quite the time. A little bit dangerous to try that now.
I wish we also got a replay of the fight that went down before it became that 1v2, because the gauntlet from Arden was one of the best I'd ever seen, actually, because he zoned out both Godfather and Dead Doll while MX went for this really aggressive Koshka ult onto Celeste.
Well, that's really like the finer points of playing Arden, right? Is that it's not just about getting everybody in the gauntlet, it's about using it as a barrier to separate the other team, too.
Yeah, so I mean, it's also got a little jump before it as well, so it's sometimes hard to aim. And you could tell that Febri knows what he's doing when he lands gauntlets like that. That was pretty insane.
Absolutely. And Kraken being captured by DMG. And I think they're going to get it. Wow. Yeah. Phobia not contesting that one. Now the question is, can DMG get enough from this Kraken to make it worth it?
Yeah. As a question. Well, they've got a pretty decent sieging comp here with that Sky.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, is that Phobia can do a lot of damage from range as well. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What would you need to? I would say what the Kraken needs to get like 2 turrets to make it worth it gold-wise.
Get
that right?
600 gold, 300 from each.
Oh, there's one.
And their one's very, very easily going down.
That Kraken not taking a lot of damage yet. They need to be so careful because Godfather can just throw down that death from above anytime. He gets that lock on. And there goes another turret. Celeste ult coming through. Solar Sword doing some damage. Dead Doll taking some. The Heliogenesis got the pop. And nice Gauntlet stunning him right away. They're going to ignore the Kraken. They want the team fight. They want the ace. Febri coming in. There's going to be another kill. And they should be able to finish off Godfather. Nice forward barrage. Pushing Kill B back. But Febri coming in again with that blood for blood. Vanguards himself for a little bit more of a barrier. And Spectro not quite close enough to finish him off. Kraken still going to town on the turrets, though. Could get 3. Kill B trying to finish it off as fast as he can, but I don't know if they're going to be able to save that turret. It's going to be close, and they save it just barely.
Just barely saving that turret. That's fantastic. I mean, the Kraken definitely got that worth, though. Took down 2 turrets and a huge amount of map control. That 1 turret by the Vein Crystal is very, very low. But you can see the strength of Sky if you can get it farmed up this much and in the hands of a player like Godfather. They couldn't touch him even though it was 1v3, and they took out the other 2 members so easily, so simply there.
Well, I mean, with characters like Celeste and Arden left, I mean, you can only really run in a straight line at Sky, and that's something that you can't do and live for very long.
Yeah. So Godfather attempting to keep this game alive for DMG, and he may just be able to with that Kraken push.
Yeah. It's possible. Looks like PHOBIA wants another fight. Gonna come in after that Kraken's down. They actually get Devil Doll in the gauntlet away. It's support for support. Spectro backing away. Got the barrier from Vanguard for the moment. Nice ultimate actually from Sky. PHOBIA is in big trouble here. Killbee trying to back away. February unable to really participate. Gets in with the Vanguard at the last moment. MX getting low. There's a kill for PHOBIA. They might be able to turn around, but no. Killbee goes down to that forward barrage, and Godfather should be able to finish off February. Got the lock on. Got the kill, and will eventually get the kill. Wow, death from above, not landing there. February giving DMG the runaround. What in the world is going on here? There's another Vanguard. They just cannot take him out. Playing with vision in February. I don't know how he's staying alive.
What is going on?
Are you serious? Okay, there we go. Finally, they got the stun from Merciless Pursuit.
And that may have just seemed like a little bit of fun he was having, but no, that delayed about 20-25 seconds from this team to actually push down the lane.
Yeah.
This is going to give so much time for Celeste now to respawn and even Vox to get up by the time they get there.
Well,
so they're not even going to be able to end this game from that.
I mean, Celeste is a big part of your wave clear when you're pushing back the creeps. So
yeah.
Now that Spectro's back up again, DMG's push has been all but stalled out.
You know, honestly, I wish they had just gone for the push. I think they could have ended it here. They spent so much time. Look at these death timers. Celeste started at 40, and by the end of this, it's down to 10.
The way he used that vision was just hilarious. Ducking in and out of the bushes, getting himself a little bit of health back over time. I mean, whenever you hit Arden, he does gain a bit of health back. So between that and the barriers he got from vanguarding himself.
And how tanky he is by this time in the game as well.
I guess, and he's back. Those turrets, the one turret regenning health, backed by the Vein Crystal.
Yeah. Still can't help but think that it was a mistake chasing after him for this long. I don't think it's going to matter, though, because this Kraken is being taken down right now, and it has been... Oh, no, it's just respawning.
PHOBIA wants on the go. MX over the wall, tries to get in on Spectro. Gauntlet thrown in, lets Spectro get out, stays a bit safer. Oh, MX over the wall, though, gets stunned on the edge. Godfather throws down the death from above. Killbee trying to juke through it. Solar Storm comes up across the back, but doesn't do a whole lot. MX still trying to take out Celeste. I think he finally got him. Godfather in big trouble, and this is going to be a team fight win and a perfect ace for PHOBIA. Man, Spectro versus MX in the back lines. I hope we get a replay of that.
Well, this might be just the game ending.
Sick outplay.
There are a bunch of turrets left over, but all three members survive with the ace buff. And that may have been a gigantic mistake from DMG to take that fight.
I think so. I mean, MX was just so desperate to do his job, get back into that Celeste, but the gauntlet, again from February, was perfect. It gave Spectro just enough room to position himself a bit more safely, and that ended up being the key to the game.
I think that's going to be it. There's just not enough time for them to respawn.
Absolutely, and so a very close, very back and forth game, but in the end, PHOBIA's going to take it. And DMG, their tournament hopes are all but gone. GG.
Oh boy, definitely the most exciting game